A somewhat fun, silly question to start. Let's say you, as in real you, encountered Chauncey. Who in your real life would you tell that would help you, do the scavenger hunt and actually fight him?
Ooh, yeah. I feel like I would call up one of my brothers and just be like, you guys aren't going to believe me, but just trust me on this and let's do this scavenger hunt with me.
I think, since I have 2 older brothers, I think one of them would help me do it, and then I think the other one would join us because he has nothing else to do.
I thought you were about to throw one of your brothers under the bus, but I'm glad it's a team-up thing happening here. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I could talk about horror movies all day long, I need to know, what is the scariest horror movie you've both seen?
Oh.
I don't watch horror movies, so this is for Taegen.
I feel like for me, I want to say like Us or Get Out.
Good choices.
One of those, I feel like, yeah.
High quality choices right there. Have you seen your own movie?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw my own movie.
I don't want to spoil anything. What do you think the scariest scene is in your own movie?
I think this is a fear for all mothers and moms. Their child slamming a hand down on their nail.
Oh, yes.
I think that's one of the scariest scenes and fears of your child doing something.
Yeah.
And fun fact, that nail is rubber. Nail's rubber.
Okay. I have a good follow-up question to that because I love talking about movie magic. What is something in this movie that made you say, I can't believe that's what it takes on set to make it look like that on screen?
Ooh, I would say like all of just the detail put into creating these sets. Like, I just feel like there's so much detail and so much hard work that was put into making those. And it ended up looking incredible on set. And then when you get to see the movie, it's like just everything, like it just worked so well on screen.
Those look quite beautiful.
Yeah. That's a hard question. I think I would say the movements of the guys in the monster suits, how much they move their bodies to get it to come out on camera. Dane, for instance, he plays that giant bear beast.
I love Dane.
I love Dane. He's amazing. I'm the height of his legs.
Yeah.
And when he puts that costume on, he's towering over us. And I saw him do the movements he did in the bear, and it was just so much more, like, bigger and exaggerated than it actually looks in the costume. Mm-hmm. And I was like, so that's what it takes to get it to come out on camera. Wow.
He is one of the best creature actors in this business. I love seeing him get more time in the spotlight with your movie, with Prey. Sure. He's so talented.
He is.
Another thing I always love talking about is the value of a good scene partner. So for each of you, can you tell me something about the other that you really appreciated and maybe helped you crush a tough scene yourself?
I feel like for us, we had this really great balance between being really focused in the scene and really into it and really just doing all. I mean, you can see from the trailer of how you see those scenes of Pyper, you see how talented she is. So I was like, okay, I need to step up my game here. But sure, we kind of, I feel like, used each other's performance to help each other out.
I think it was for me, for you and me, I think for us just naturally bonding over the span time really helped me get into the moments where, like, we needed to kind of, like, you had to, like, protect me or push me along. So, that one scene where you pushed me along.
Yes.
I think that was, it was the sisterly bond we needed to make to get those scenes to really have those general just connections and the chemistry.
I'm going to come back to some standout performance beats for both of you, but first I want to loop DeWanda in here because she is a leader on this set. She is number one on the call sheet. Can you tell me something that you saw her do as a leader, number one, as a scene partner, that maybe you said to yourself, I'm going to back pocket that and I'm going to try that on a future film?
I've got one.
Go ahead.
So DeWanda taught me and Taegen, specifically for one of the scenes, the scene before the very last scene in the movie.
Okay.
You know that scene.
I do know that scene.
And we were all running around in the front yard, and DeWanda told us to do that. And I said, I'm going to keep that with me. And I work on a voiceover, and every time my character's out of breath, I always use 10 jumping jacks before I do it. And I'm back pocketing that, and I put that in my toolbox.
I like that. Good technique to have.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I second that. I feel like that's something that just having the physical aspect that plays into the emotional, the intensity of the character and the scenes, and kind of using those two together helps elevate the performance and make it more like authentic.
Speaking authenticity, I'll go to you next, Taegen, with a specific question about your character, because one of the things that impressed me most is that you're able to make sure that she feels like a bratty teenager, but also while feeling like she still has a heart that could be shaped and morphed. So what were some of your goals in order to make sure you were doing both of those things at the same time?
I think for me, that was one of the main things that kind of drew me to Taylor, was just the complexity of her. And at the start, you really just do not like her at all, because she's so unhappy with where she's at in her life and all the stuff that's going on. But when Alice goes missing, you do see that shift in her character, and you start to see more of her sensitivity and vulnerability and her experiencing all these different emotions. And I mean, exploring that was so incredible and exciting. And yeah, I mean, I absolutely loved playing Taylor.
You do it well. That shift doesn't work unless you plant certain seeds early on in the movie, and I feel like you did that quite well.
You.
Piper, for you, I have two specific questions. First, I need to ask about that scene that you do with the therapist, because my God, like, that is like top tier performance work. What do you like to do to prepare for such a heavy emotional scene like that?
Well, I think Veronica really did help me just kind of dial down and calm down, because her voice is just so calming and so genuine and sweet. And I mean, to get those tears to come out of my eyes, I'm not going to say what we had to do, but that's a secret. I'm keeping
yes.
that. But really, just to dial down, you have to hunker down and really like get into your emotions and feel what your character is feeling. And I think that's really how you tap into your emotions for an emotional scene like that.
Whatever those secrets are, hold tight. They work.
I will hold those tight.
Exceptionally well. The other question I wanted to ask you was, I know you do some voice work for Chauncey in the movie, so I was wondering, did you always know exactly what he needed to sound like, or was there any kind of like playing around with different versions at the beginning?
Well, I mean, that's a secret that I can't tell. Well, it may seem like there's ventriloquism going on there, but there is not ventriloquism going on there.
I think that might be my favorite line in the whole movie. So looking at the whole shooting schedule for this movie now, can you each tell me which scene you were most nervous to shoot? But then I also want to know if that scene was the toughest of the bunch, or if a different one wound up catching you by surprise.
Ooh, for me, it was the very emotional crying scene. I actually had to do that scene for the audition.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that really was the hardest scene for me, because I did have to kind of go into crying. But it wasn't actually the hardest scene to film. The hardest scene to film was one of those scenes where we had prosthetics on, and that was the hardest scene to film.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for me, the scene I was most nervous to film was that kind of intense scene with me and Jess. And that scene, I was pretty nervous, and that was my audition scene as well. But I mean, I think that ended up being, it was like a really nice scene, so I felt it was really important to Taylor. But yeah.
I feel like it's a good thing they gave you that audition scene, because it just like starts you at an 11, so then it only can get easier from there. So I like that. And that's also a beautiful performance beat too. I'm going to end with a little spoiler question, very brief. I'm going to put up the spoiler warning so all of our viewers know. Go watch the movie and then come back. Given how the movie ends, I'm curious, do you think Chauncey can ever be beaten, or will Chauncey always follow them?
I think Chauncey will always follow.
Yeah, Chauncey's not going to abandon them. Chauncey loves them a little too much.
A little too much.
Yes.
A little too much. This guy loves us.
Stalking you right now.
He followed us all the way here.
Yes.
I was thinking about this too. I'll end with this one here. When Chauncey is not trying to trap people in the Never Ever, what do you think Chauncey does for fun?
I think he just likes to sit back and do a nice spa day.
Yeah.
I know that may sound weird, but like I think he just likes a nice spa day.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
think he likes
When they
nice
spin this off into like a Chauncey like sitcom, that's what it'll be.
Yes.
Just like Chauncey hanging out at a
Day in the life.
Spa, yeah, the day in the life of Chauncey when he's not trying to capture people.
Yeah.
He's
I'll
sitting
watch
at
that.
the spa, or I feel like he would also be like a great chef.
Ooh.
That's
That could be another spinoff.
Like I feel like he would just be a great chef.
Yeah.
I can't tell if that's a great idea or also really disturbing. Okay. Thank you both so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you
Seriously.
so much.